Today is all about what I'm calling the ultimate AI seller update system. I'm going to walk you guys through how to keep listings, how to get price reductions, how to keep listings from being withdrawn and expired, how to get more referrals, and then how to get more listings by adding this to your arsenal. Now, I'll give you guys the quick pitch. Okay. The quick pitch is that Beacon, my company that I'm going to talk about today, makes this incredibly simple, fast, and easy. But there are some ideologies you'll pick up throughout the call that are going to explain to you how you should do it if you want to roll up your sleeves and DIY. So, this is a sales presentation for Beacon. It's our AI seller update system. My name is Chris Smith. I'm the co-founder. Jimmy couldn't be here today. Jimmy will be here on upcoming webinars. But the first thing I want to talk about is why we focus on seller communication. And you guys can try this while you're on the call. Open up a tab in your browser and go to Google. And I want you to type in "my realtor is," and then I want you to stop. And then I want you to look at what it autofills, because Google's really good at predicting what the person's looking for before they finish their sentence. And if you do this, it's sad but true, by the way. Sad but true. My realtor is not selling my house, not responding, not responsive, not working for me, not doing her job. That is what Google thinks you're searching if you just type "my realtor is." It doesn't say awesome. It doesn't say amazing. It doesn't say helping me make as much money as possible. It's a very negative connotation. And so what ends up happening is you see a lot of reviews like this on the internet. I'll go through a couple with you guys. Why focus on seller communication? Well, a seller said they disliked the poor communication. These are from the internet. 1-star reviews. Dislike the poor communication and lack of support. They felt out of the loop. And even after contacting the broker, they received no response from him or his team. The second one, a 1-star review complaining of very poor communication, unresponsive, multiple emails, phone calls, and texts, unanswered from agents and broker of record. I will never use KW to find or sell a home again. This one was from Reddit. A seller preparing to close wrote that an FHA appraisal had failed, but their agent knew this since Saturday and only told the sellers when they reached out. They were left in the dark, and they have lost all faith. I could have found 100,000 more of these. So, number one, why are we focused on seller communication? Because it's one of the biggest pain points in the industry. The number one complaint of sellers is they have no idea what you're doing. That is the number one complaint in real estate. The second reason we're focusing on this at Beacon is where the market's at and where the market's headed. See, in 2020, we wouldn't have done this. 2021, we wouldn't have done this. But if you look at things like days on market, it's up over 300%. Price reductions are up over 124%. And 1 in every 4 listings is expiring. Now, we always talk about expired listings. The other secret, dirty little secret of the industry is withdrawn listings. So this year, 13.5% of listings are being withdrawn versus a normal market, it's about 5%. It's triple. And they're doing that based on whether they're kept in the loop or not. So expireds are up. Price reductions are up. Days on market is up. Withdrawn listings is up. So what does that mean? That means there's more days. More days leads to more doubt. More doubt leads to more updates needed. 2021 forgave silence. This market fires you for it. So that's part of the reason we're focused on seller communication. The other thing, I'm a marketing guy. I'm a sales guy. I love marketing and sales. I've written books about it. I've built my career on helping people with it. But in this industry, there's this inarguable truth that the percentage of your business that comes from the past clients and referrals in your database is almost 90%. For some of you, it's higher. But if you ask 100 realtors, where do you get most of your business? Past clients and referrals. So 90% of people's business comes from the people they work with. Meanwhile, 90% of their money, their investments, are on buying leads who are strangers. So when Jimmy and I decided to do Beacon, it was like, what if people could just double down on the customer experience? What if they could do something that sellers appreciated so much that they would get more referrals, that they would get more repeat business, that they would get more word of mouth? You probably don't need another Facebook lead to grow your business. So your money's going to the wrong thing. The only thing people buy for their past clients and for the people they work with is like DocuSign and parties. So Beacon gives you an opportunity to invest in the people that actually make you money. Really quickly, do me a favor. Drop a Y in the chat if you invest in professional photography. Drop a Y in the chat. Okay. This is going to be universally yes. And if you don't, it's probably because you're like actually a photographer or something like that. Okay. So, and do me a favor, because I'm out of the loop on this right now. Give me a couple numbers, like about how much does it cost to get a property photographed? Drop it in the chat. Probably different everywhere. 250, 750, 500, 1,000. Okay. So the reason that Bill Morton is willing to spend $1,500 on pictures, because I don't think the client pays for that bill. That comes out of your pocket with no guarantee you'll get it back. Okay. No guarantee you'll get it back. So that money comes out of your pocket. If it's 500, 700, there's a reason you're willing to invest that money, because you're investing it in a transaction that's going to make you money. It's a smart investment. So that is what you want to think about Beacon as. You're only paying for Beacon for people that you're working with that are going to make you money for sure. This doesn't even chase buyers. There's no buyer stuff in Beacon. It's literally for listings and sellers that are going to make you money. What a smart place to invest. So when I look at what to send, if you guys are taking notes, these are the 5 things that you should update your sellers on every single week. And I'm going to walk through these, and then I'm going to show you how Beacon makes it incredibly easy to do that. So the first thing is marketing and exposure. Are you getting their property in front of people? Is it on Zillow? Is it on Compass? Is it on Realtor.com? Is it on Redfin? Is it on Homes.com? But more importantly, are you actually doing marketing on social media that's generating more exposure than the portals? Wouldn't you guys agree that's a big deal? If I have a YouTube video of your home and I got 80,000 views, that's more impressive than 300 views on Zillow, because you did that. You generated those views. Those weren't guaranteed. So you need to showcase the marketing and you need to showcase where it's happening. But if you're only relying on portal views like List Track, that's not enough. That's just data. And I'm going to talk about the most important thing here in a second. Number 2, what did you do this week? What did you do this week? That is incredibly important. What have you been up to? That has to be a part of every update that you give. The admin work, the behind the scenes work. Let me ask you guys in the chat, because these are not rhetorical questions. I do not know the answer to what I'm about to ask. Okay. But I'm genuinely curious. If you had to guess how many to-dos there are from the time you get a listing agreement signed until the time that the check clears and the property's closed, how many of those to-dos do you guys have? 180, 120, couple hundred, 250, 500, 300. These numbers are massive. A lot. Good point, Kimberly. A lot. Kelly, 150. Okay. Now, the reality is your clients don't know that you're doing all that stuff. Like you're working in the dark. And so if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there, no one hears it. So you guys are putting in all this work and all this effort. And I understand the concept of like, that's our job. So we're going to keep that off their plate. But guys, show your work. The other thing that you need to put in the update is showings and feedback. Every showing, what the buyer said, they need to know. They need to get the feedback because sometimes you get a lot of showings and no offers, and that feedback is actually your action items of what you need to change. The other thing you have to put in there, number 4, is where the price sits compared to the comps. Okay. When you think about comps, if I were to say, what's a comp? Most of you would put in the chat comparable. Okay. So we think of comps as comparable. What you have to understand is that it goes from a comparable to a competitor as soon as they list. The comps become your competition, the ones that are listed. So they need to know where their property sits against the others. And then, of course, and I've asked 100 people this question and all 100 said yes. Do they want to know what you're doing next week? So they want to know what you've been doing and they want to know what you're about to do. And by connecting all these dots, it makes the experience insanely better for both parties. But here's the most important thing that you need to provide: context. Okay? You need context because numbers and comps and to-dos and marketing, it doesn't make sense to them unless you add context that would make sense to a human being that doesn't do this for a living. So as I show you Beacon, and again, if you're going to do the elbow grease version and do it yourself, context has to be provided throughout. If you're just sending a bunch of data, it does not help. It is not helping people. So your sellers can't see your hustle. And that's what Beacon changes. We called the company Beacon because we shine a light on the hard work that you're doing. Beacon, we believe every seller deserves a beacon. We believe that they should not be left in the dark. And we also believe that agents should get the credit for the hard work that they put in. So what we've done to enable that vision that we have for the industry is we turn the hard work you're already doing into effortless client communication. We showcase the value of an agent while keeping sellers informed and confident. I'm not even going to ask if you think that people don't value an agent, because I already know what your answer would be. In many cases, they don't. And it's just because they can't see what you're doing. So what we did with Beacon was very simple. We said, is it possible? Could it be possible, because of AI and technology and all this cool stuff that's come out in the last few years? Could we take a process that's laborious, a seller update, and could we make it simple? So if you're doing seller updates manually, you've got to go in the MLS, you got to go to social media, you got to write down all your to-dos, you got to add all the details about the listing, you got to go screenshot a bunch of stuff, and then maybe you go in Canva, and put it into some kind of a design. And it can take as much as 90 minutes per listing. Well, we work with listing agents. So what we've created is you can actually create a beacon in less than 3 minutes, and you can update it automatically every single week. It literally is faster, better, and more beautiful than what sellers are used to. Faster, better, and more beautiful. So let's build a beacon. I'm going to show you guys how it works. And I'm going to hop out of this, hopefully. Yep. And I'm going to hop into this listing. Beautiful listing. This is right in my backyard, right in my zip code. So what I'm going to do, I'm going into Beacon. And all you have to do to create a seller update is put in an address. That's it. Or you could paste the link from Zillow, either one. But I'm going to put in an address. And now what Beacon's going to do is it's going to get all of your brand colors, get your logo, get your headshot, find the property, find the details, get the comps, get the photos, and look how quickly I was able to create that property report. That was like maybe 15 seconds. Now there's some more work to do, which I'll cover. But creating a beacon takes seconds, not hours. We've got the comps. We found it on Zillow. We've got the views. We've got the subject property, right? And I'm going to show you in a second how all the tasks will be here too. So building a beacon is very, very, very fast. All you do is put one address in and you get a report out. Number two, I talked about the marketing. When it comes to the marketing, it's a hybrid between social media and portals. So if I hop back into a beacon, because all of your beacons are in one place, which is really nice. I'm going to hop into this beacon that's in Bedford, New Hampshire, where Jimmy lives. Okay. What you're seeing is you're seeing the context. This executive summary is written for you based on everything that we gathered. So this property has strong exposure. It's got 4,100 views on homes.com, 1,200 on Zillow, 300 on Redfin. It's gone through a full launch sequence. We checked the syndication. We prepped the property. We're managing the first open house and the nearby comps, yada, 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 right? It's providing context. So it shows all the marketing for this property, but it also shows, and I have to kind of pick and choose here the ones that I go into, but it's also going to show, I'm going to pull up one from a client account. It's going to show your marketing that you're doing on social media. So if I go into this property, it isn't just going to be the 6,000 website views. It's going to also be the Instagram posts. It's going to be the Facebook posts. We pull in the posts that you're doing. We pull in the stats that you're doing. See, we connect to all of your platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. And so we can actually pull that data in right into the beacon as well. And that is a big differentiator. So not only are you providing portal views and where the buyers are coming from, you're also providing the views that you created on social media. This is incredibly important because you want to brag about that. Because just because you listed with a realtor doesn't mean that their property actually gets a lot of exposure. So in this example, this is actually from this week. I pulled this yesterday. This is a beacon in Washington. And the YouTube video for this property has 126,000 views. Like, good job, Lisa, right? So in a normal world, that seller might not have even seen the video. Well, with Beacon, it's front and center. We're showing them. Here's another example, Natalie. This is in Naples, Florida. She got 59,295 views on her Instagram post. Well, we should probably let the seller know that, right? We should let the seller know that. So step one, you build the beacon in a very simple way. Step two, you add the marketing and all the stats. Step three is the behind the scenes hustle. So if I were to go back to this slide, I showed you where the buyers found the home. I showed you the marketing for the property and how easy that is to add. The next piece are tasks. So you guys said a second ago that you do hundreds and hundreds of things for every single listing, okay? Well, what we realized is that a lot of those things happen over and over again. So we have something called playbooks. And a playbook is actually going to be every single thing that you do every single time. But here's what's really exciting about this. We do this time and date based. So you can see here, activate listing in the MLS. That's day 0. But aren't you guys doing stuff before that, right? That's right, Greg. Show them the sweat. So if I go back to the top, and you can customize this list, you can import your own list, but you got to check the county records, you got to pull the permits, you got to look at the prior MLS, you got to do a CMA, you want to set up alerts to track competing listings. There's a lot of stuff that you guys do. And then, of course, the listing goes live. And you want to make sure that it's on the map properly. You want to make sure it's on all the portals. You want to upload the disclosures and the showing instructions. You want to make sure it's on your site and your broker site. And then you're probably going to start doing some marketing and you're going to notify your buyers. And then you're going to do all of these other things. So what we've built are called playbooks. So what I can do is if I go into a report, and I'll use this one as an example, it's a brand new listing. Well, normally there wouldn't be a lot of activity here because you would have to go in and add all of these tasks. But now you can set your account up to where this playbook, the launch playbook that I just showed you guys, actually starts on the day the listing went live. I think in this one, it was 2 days ago. So now if I apply that playbook, and by the way, this is a setting. You wouldn't even have to do what I'm showing you. This playbook would be applied to every listing that you add. And now if I go down to the task list, it's actually showing the work. It's showing all of the activities that are completed, time and date based on the MLS go live date. Now, I am going to delete that because this is actually, I'm going to go back to that and fix that for Shane. So that is a beacon and that is the way the playbooks work. The cool thing is you can build your own playbooks. And I'm actually also curious about this. Yes, Deborah, you can import from Asana. You can import, it could be a CSV file. It could be a PDF. It could be a Google Doc. But I actually want to know, just give me a quick why in the chat. Do you have a custom checklist that you already have access to so that you could create your own playbook? It looks like a lot of people do. So if you don't have one, obviously that's a value here in what we have. If you do have one, literally all you have to do is say, this is our Beacon webinar playbook. You hit create, and then you can see here, you can just upload a file and it will create that playbook for you. Once the playbook's in there, though, what you want to do is you want to make sure you denote the go live date, because that's actually really important to have in there as well. So that would be how you show the sweat. You show people the work you're doing behind the scenes. The next thing that we include is the comps. I talked about this earlier. Comps allow people to connect the dots. What we're finding, and if there are some Beacon customers in here that are on the call, these clients that are getting their Beacons are suggesting the price reduction. It has really flipped the dynamic on its head, where they connect the dots because they have the data and the context, and then they will actually tell you, I think we need to lower the price. Like they have that come to Jesus moment without it being an awkward conversation. So if I look at this property as an example, this is going to show you, and I'm going to get past the showings. This is going to show you the nearby comp set is fairly active. There's 10 for sale listings. One nearby went under contract. The most active pricing is between $599 and $659 for a 4-bed, 3-bath at your square footage. The surrounding listings provide solid pricing context with several comps positioned near the upper end of that range and a couple trading under contract around the middle. So we're going to show them every comp on the map. They can see what they're up against. And all of this context is written by us using all the data that we have. All of the context at the top for the executive summary is written by us as well. And so we have comps, we have marketing, we have administrative tasks. Even in the administrative tasks, we're also giving them a summary in case they don't want to flip through 800 tasks, which not everybody does. Now, the next piece of this is really important, which is showings. And for those of you that have tried showings before, for those of you that have, maybe when you first started with Beacon, you had to manually add the showings. Well, the number one request we got was showing time and aligned integration. So now, and this is crazy how this works. It's so cool. If I go into Beacon, you've actually got what's called your showings inbox. And we give you a custom email address to add to your showing tool. And you only have to do this once. You do not have to do this for every single showing. You take the email address we give you, you put it into your showing tool, and then all of the showings come in automatically. See this? This is completely automated once you add that email. You can see this one, there's feedback. So if I go to this report and I go to the showing section, all the feedback is here. Is your client interested? No. How would they rate the condition? Excellent. What do they think the price? It's just right. 1 to 5, 4. Yard was not private enough for the buyers. Beautiful. Thank you for telling us that. So all of the showings and all of the showing feedback is right inside the report. You literally don't have to do anything. And again, we're adding context. Showings brought a steady mix of responses, including one very interested visit, one that noted the home sold well. Later in the period was tracked closely around repeat visits with price generally viewed as in range. It's incredibly useful to know. So we have all the comps, we have all the showings, and you can add anything, as I saw in the question there, you can always add a task manually and add anything that you want. You can always add a comp manually and anything that you want. You can always add a showing manually and anything that you want. So we want to automate as much of this because it's just tedious, annoying work that has to happen. But at the end of the day, you can override any of these settings. It's very easy to kind of create your own. All right, a couple more things. And then I have got a ridiculous deal for you guys today. You guys are going to get an offer that's better than any offer we've ever made. So please stick around. I'm going to go into that very soon. But the other thing that we found is that if you have all this context, if you have all of this information, then why should you have to then figure out what to say when you send the report? So if I go in here to this report and I hit share, okay, I'm going to hit share without refreshing. Watch this. This is actually writing the email for me to send to the seller. So it's got a link to it, and we actually have a custom URL. Just added this for those of you that have Beacon, yourlisting.ai. This is about their listing, not you. So this is yourlisting.ai. We write the email, and in here, we're prioritizing the things that have happened in the last 7 days. So the update writes itself. You don't even have to write the update, which is super cool, and people really love that feature. Now, the last thing I'm going to cover, and then I have a brand new feature to show that's a real game changer, is the cadence. How often should you send these updates? Well, most people send them once a week. Our system updates all of the data, all the stats once a week automatically. You don't have to do anything. But there can be some event-triggered updates that you might want to showcase. Let's say a comp changes the price. Let's say you ran a big campaign and got a bunch of new traffic. So you can actually go in at any time and you can hit refresh. And it will actually update the summaries, the comps, the metrics. It will refresh everything. And it doesn't even take 30 seconds. It says 30 seconds. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds to update the report. So if I'm sending these every Monday and something important happens on Thursday, you can come in at any time, hit refresh, hit share, and it will update the summary and it will update the message that you send to the seller. So that is an incredibly easy way to update these things manually. The other thing you might want to do is if you have a playbook, right? You might run a new playbook for open houses. You might have another playbook for price reductions. Because remember, we don't know if those are happening or not. So not only do you have your primary playbook, you have sub playbooks. You might have a video marketing playbook because you don't do a video for every property, but for this one you are. You might have a price reduction playbook because you don't know if you're going to reduce the price when you take the listing. So we would recommend the full update once a week, same date, same time. It doesn't have to be Friday. It could be Monday. It could be Tuesday. Every week, exciting or not. Then we would also recommend event-triggered updates for sure that you would send out. Now, here's what we learned by creating so many reports, okay? And we'll send the recording of this out to everybody, but the offer for today is only for today. So what happens is the beacon was giving them a ton of feedback and they love it and they appreciate it and they're going to say thank you and they're going to say we should lower our price. That's a good thing that happens. But what if they're worried? You do realize that at the point that they withdraw their listing, they've already been thinking about it for a few days, if not a few weeks. So we just created, and this, I believe, this is the world's first pipeline predictive analytics. We can now predict, and by predicting, we can cut off withdrawn listings. Because now what we're able to do, if I go back into Beacon, is if I come in and I refresh the report, it's going to pop up, it's going to refresh it. If I go to share it now, actually publish, when I hit publish on the new report, you're going to see this little box right here, add a seller pulse survey. See that? And you can create your own survey or you can use the one we gave you. They're situational, but there's a primary survey that goes in. And here's what this does. It's so cool. When you create the beacon with the survey, and now when I open this, it's got the report, right? They're going to still see the report, but they're going to see this little section here. How are you feeling about the sale right now? How are you feeling about the sale right now? It says no wrong answers. Only your agent sees this. So if you send this report to a seller and they say they're worried, okay, it's going to say, hey, we get it. What's weighing on you the most? Showings and interest. What would help the most? It would help if we scheduled a call. Anything else you want to tell us? No, send. That was literally 3 clicks. Now, back over here in Beacon, I'm going to start to get updates about their responses to that survey. So I have to switch accounts again. Let me log back in. And you're going to see a section called Seller Pulse. This is the pulse that I just took. So you will get a real-time notification. See right here? Seller is worried. They asked for a call. And then it goes in and it says, hey, they're worried about showings and they want to schedule a call. Let me know in the chat, what do you guys think about Seller Pulse? Can you see how this would help you manage a large pipeline? Because imagine if you have 10 listings, and imagine if you're a team, and imagine if you're trying to help the people on your team manage the issues that you have. Exactly, Heather. They feel heard. The way that I described this to our clients when we announced it is that instead of Beacon being a megaphone saying, here's everything I'm doing, it becomes more of a walkie-talkie and it becomes more of a conversation. And so you're going to start to see trends because every time they take a pulse check, it adds it here, and then you'll have a list and it'll show you You need to act now on this one. You need to keep an eye on this one. And these are the ones that are cruising. So you have a really, really nice check-in. But yes, please, you guys, make sure you use that. And everything that I'm covering is in the settings. So all of this stuff around your social accounts, your seller polls, the comps, the websites, the branding, it's very, very easy to go in and get all of that dialed in. Seller Pulse is one of our newest features. All right, last part, and then I'll give you guys the promo code. You've seen how Beacon keeps listings. Hopefully you've seen like that this will wow your sellers and become more referable. And right now, Beacon is only for sellers and listings. But this is going to be turning the corner and saying, okay, how do I get listings with Beacon? Because there's a thing in business and technology called a single source of truth. Right now, your seller updates are the Wild West. They're in your inbox, maybe they're in Canva. They're not in one place. And what happens is when you get them in one place, you can do some really exciting stuff with them. So for example, you can add to your listing presentation Beacon, because every agent has a marketing plan in their listing presentation. Very, very few agents have a communication plan. Imagine if you're competing with another agent and there's all this parity. You say, hey, I'm going to show you the report that we're going to send you. You're going to get it every single week. You're going to see the comps. You're going to see what we're doing behind the scene. You're going to be able to tell us anytime you're concerned and need a call. Think about that. And somebody asked about PDFs. Yes, Beacons can become PDFs with one click. They don't have to just be the link to the website. So the number one reason agents get fired is poor communication. But your listing presentation probably doesn't include something like Beacon today, because you don't want to promise a report that takes an hour and a half to do if you ever get around to it. The second thing, though, which is really cool, is now we have so much data. We have the comps, we have your stats, we have the to-dos, the showings, the marketing, the views, right? So what we've added to Beacon is called Portfolio. Check this out. Right inside of Beacon, we will build a custom portfolio for you. And this is going to have all of your stats, all of your Beacon, your lifetime stats, your career stats. It's going to show how you compare to the market. Now, I'm going to go into my other account, buildyourbeacon.com. And I want to show you guys this portfolio, because once you have this dialed in, it's absolutely compelling. So in this one, it says, hey, we bring 51,000 followers and negotiation that keeps more of your price. Every Beacon, all the views, all your stats, career and last 12 months, how those compare, by the way, to the market average. We plot out all of your most recent transactions on a map so you can really see the dominance. But this is the exciting part, because realtors have never been this transparent. So in this example, the Mac and real estate team, when they do a price reduction, the average price reduction is 5%. The comps, the average price reduction was 12%. The Mackin team list to sales price is 99. The market average is 94. The Mackin team, 112 days on market. The market average, 156. And with the Mackin team, the visibility average is almost 800 views versus 400 views. So we're able to actually do the math. And here's what's super cool. This is literally data about your listings versus the comps of your listings. This is super relevant. So you can see we sell properties 10.6% faster with 24.6 fewer price reductions. We built all of this. So it shows all the social media followers. It shows all the social media views. It shows all the portal views. It shows all your top performing marketing campaigns that you've ever done. It pulls all the showings in, and it pulls in all of your seller reviews from Zillow. This is called Portfolio. It's absolutely a game changer. And I'll give you guys a quick best practice because he's on the call. What Greg did is he has a custom URL for it so that it's easy to access, greghanner.com, which was his main site, /portfolio. And so this is literally what I just showed you, but this is a real one in the wild. He's got all his stats. He's got his map. He's got all of his different stats here, especially the ones that make him shine like these, right? And it calculates it here. We sell faster. We get 177% more Zillow views. And then, of course, it's got his social following. Look at these portal views, guys. Since Greg's had Beacon, almost 1.6 million views on the portal properties that he does. Here's some of his most viral posts that he's done. He's actually generated 212 showings. All of this built itself. All of this builds itself. Can you add your own reviews? Yes, you can add reviews from anywhere online. You manually add them. We don't integrate with Google reviews yet, but we are planning on adding that feature very soon. So with Portfolio, plus adding Beacon to your listing presentation, not only do you keep listings, you win listings. And the people that are using Beacon, they freaking love it, you guys. We asked Meredith, hey, now that you're using Beacon, could you imagine going back to the way you used to do seller updates? Not a chance. It's incredible. It's a quantum leap. She actually said it's like getting high-speed internet versus dial-up. This one, Shannon Gillette, 30% of my listings are listing takeovers. The number one reason, lack of communication. Beacon fixes that. Shannon just did an Instagram reel about us a couple days ago saying how much the seller loves it. I love Brad's feedback, by the way. If every realtor doesn't get this, they are idiots. I would never say that, but that is Brad's testimonial word for word. And then Darren Tackett, he's one of the top listing agents in the country, works for ESP. We built our own Canva template for weekly updates. Your product blows it away. That is what the people using this product say. So here's what you guys can do right now. You're going to go to buildyourbeacon.com. Buildyourbeacon.com. I'm going to put it in the chat. And what you're all going to get as a thank you for attending today is two things. Number one, you're going to get a free 7-day trial. You can try Beacon for free, create a Beacon, send it to a seller, see what they said. You get a free trial. There's no onboarding. There's no support team that you need. You guys can have this up and running within 3 minutes. But I'm also going to give you guys a promo code where your first month will be half off. Now, when you go to Build Your Beacon, by the way, let me pull this up. When you go to buildyourbeacon.com, you're going to click on pricing. I'll go over the pricing with you guys. The pricing is based on the number of active listings that you have right now. So if you have up to 5 active listings, it's $99 a month. You would click right here, start free trial. If you have up to 10, it's $149. If you have up to 15, if you have up to 25. So go to buildyourbeacon.com, click pricing, choose the number of active listings that you have now, and then you're going to put in the promo code 728, July 28th. That's today. I'm only giving you guys this offer if you sign up right now. We have over 1,600 teams and agents using Beacon. They've created over 7,000 reports for listings. They've saved almost 5,000 hours by using Beacon. And if you do have a lot of listings, Ari, I'm going to give you my email address and you can just email me personally. We do custom pricing on anything over 25. So let me send that. That's my email address, Ari. Just email me. But basically, the more listings you have, the lower the price is. The more listings you have, the more valuable Beacon is. So it's 250 for 25. It would not be, 25 times 5 for 130. We would give you a very, very good deal for every Beacon over 25. Now, I also wanted to give you guys a super bonus. This is my super bonus. This is by far, Kara, this is a good question. If you're on the free trial now, then what I would do is I would cancel your free trial, sign up again with the promo code. But I wanted to give everybody that attended today one more incentive to sign up right now, because I like selling and I like pitching, but what I really love to do is teach. And I have 3 best-selling books, and I have a coaching community called the Conversion Club. The Conversion Club is a 24/7 on-demand resource where you can take master classes on sales and marketing. As an example, it's me and my friends. So Mark Davison, he's the smartest person on branding in the industry. He teaches a 2-hour class on branding. Will Draper, the guy with the microphone, teaches a 2-hour workshop on filming vertical videos. We have Ken Pozek teaching YouTube, Jason Cassidy teaching Instagram, Amy Youngren teaching inside sales. This is literally, if you guys have heard of Masterclass, this is literally Masterclass for real estate. Normally, the Conversion Club, go back one, the Conversion Club is $50 per month. It's $600 per year. It's got over 35 workshops, cheat sheets, AI prompts. It's got the conversion course, which we did sell for $1,000 based on my book. It's got the exactly what to say for real estate agents course, which was $799. What I'm going to do for you guys, if you sign up for Beacon right now and you use the promo code 728, I am going to give you a lifetime membership to the Conversion Club for free. There's one asterisk. You have to keep Beacon. So you can't sign up for the trial, cancel, and then the club. As soon as you go from the free trial to your first month, which is, by the way, half off, you're going to email me and I'm going to add you to the Conversion Club for free. And it's a lifetime membership. So the way you take advantage of that is very simple. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to buildyourbeacon.com. You have to put in the promo code 728, which, by the way, expires after this call. So you have to do this now. And that's going to get you not only 7-day free trial and half off your first month, it's also going to get you a lifetime membership to the Conversion Club. Now, I saw a bunch of questions and I want to answer those if they're coming in. Now, I will say a couple of people are asking, if we already pay for Beacon, can we get the Conversion Club? Yeah, you can. If you are a paying Beacon client, email me and I will add you to the Conversion Club as a thank you. The half off you're not going to get. So the half off, but as long as you're paying for Beacon, I will add you to the club. So that answers a few different questions. Mark, we're going to send the replay as quick as we can get it up and as quick as we can get it online. Let me mention the price because Morgan had a feedback. So you don't have to use every listing for Beacon. You can add as many or as few as you want. But the way the price works is you can add your team, you can add team members. There's no cost for logins. It's per Beacon. When you have, like right now, this is actually huge. I'm glad you brought this up, Morgan. When you sign up for Beacon, your price is based on the number of active listings you have when you sign up. If you get more listings throughout the year, your price doesn't change. If you a year from now have twice as many listings, or by the way, less listings, once a year we scan how many listings you have, and your price then goes up or down. But we cap the increase at around 20 to 25%. So hypothetically, you sign up for 5, a year from now you have 10. You would only go from 99 a month to 120 a month. So we cap the increase. We want people to know how much they're going to save. Yes, Megan, I am going to leave the code up for a few minutes after the call so people can sign up. I don't want you to crash. Deborah, I'm headed out of town. Can I start my trial next week? Deborah, just email me and we'll figure something out. Diane, we are going to send this out to everybody, so no problem at all. Bunch of AI chats coming in. Their chat bots logging off. If you do have any other questions for me, guys, please drop it in the chat. When you go to pay, so when you get to the page, Kimberly, that asks for billing, there's going to be a spot right on that page that says promo code. And then Francis, I'll put my email in again. It kind of got buried. Just Chris at theconversioncode.com or Chris at buildyourbeacon.com. Either one of those work. Kim, as of right now, I saw this come in a few times. We are actively working on a Canadian beacon. I didn't do it. That's so corny. I feel like that was a dad joke. Canadian beacon. There is a beacon for Canada, and it's coming very soon. What I need you to do, Kim, is email me and say, I want to be a part of the Canada beta. We have a beta list for people in Beacon. Mark, no. Do you need a VPN if I have a VA? No. I mean, if you connect to Google, Google might ask you to authorize the connection. Kevin, yes. Awesome. So listen, Justin signed up at 153. It's 154. And he said, what should I do first? I uploaded one of my listings and connected social media. What I would do, Justin, this is actually a good pro tip. I would add your listings that have the longest days on market. I would start with the ones that have been around the longest. So step 1, add the beacon, which you did. Step 2, connect to social and add the post. Step 3 would be scan the comps. Okay, scan the comps, make sure they look good or tweak those. Step 4, add or apply a playbook. And that's all I would do. And then I would hit share. You have got to get this out of your hands. The sooner you get it to the seller, the better. So don't feel like you have to master the program to get it into somebody's hands. It's like 50 times better. Kimmer, oh my God, it's already building my stuff. Awesome. Withdrawn list. So you can't, the listing has to be active in the MLS for us to be able to create the beacon. Awesome. Candace, the way that you get on the conversion club is you just send me an email 8 days from now. So the first 7 days are free. If you keep Beacon and the first month kicks in, at that point you get the conversion club for free. Yeah, I got you, Justin. So Justin, you can go back and add all the stuff you did for those listings, even if they were pulled off the market and put back on. Absolutely. Roth Remax had a question. Do we get our data from MLS or Zillow? We have a number of data sources that include those data sources. There's APIs for a company like ours. So we get APIs that connect several sources. We have Redfin, we have Realtor.com, we have Zillow, we have comps from the MLS, we have everything. Yeah, Del Rey, sign up for 5. And by the way, you can always upgrade if you need more or downgrade if you need less. This is one of the things that I love about Beacon. With Beacon, you can cancel anytime. We have to earn your payment every single month. So you literally can sign up for Beacon, use it for 3 months, have a bad month, pause your billing. Like, this is not a 12-month agreement. We're not locking anybody in. It's a low price for the value that it brings. It's way less than it would cost to lose a listing. Yeah, Justin, that's a good question. If you can't get the beacon created using an address, which does happen sometimes because of Google, that's why we have the Zillow link alternative. You just paste the link. Lori, what I've heard about lots, so you can add lots and land, you can add as long as again it's active in the MLS. But lots take longer to sell. So what I would do with a lot is like I would use Beacon for lots, but I probably would only send a monthly update instead of weekly. That would be the main thing I would do different. If it was lots, or even if you somehow figured out a way to get a commercial property or apartment complex in there. Cool. Well, listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Do me a favor. Kim, the playbook is on the left hand tab and also in your settings. So Peggy, I would try that. Peggy, try that. Because I tried that and it worked. And I went to my team and I said, hey guys, why do we need to wait for Canada? Zillow's got the listings. The Zillow link created it. So try it and then just cancel if it doesn't work. But do me a favor, you guys, if you signed up for Beacon during this webinar, first of all, thank you. Second of all, drop a C in the chat so I can see how many people signed up. Pumped to get a bunch of new clients on board today. And you guys can reach out to me anytime. Jonathan, if you signed up, cancel, and then sign up again with the code. So for those of you that signed up, thank you so much. We're actually going to be doing in the next 2 weeks, and you guys will all get an invite to this. We're going to be doing another 1-hour call, but it's going to be all a training call on how to use Beacon. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate your time and your business. We'll see you guys again real soon.